You're into fitness.
I'm into fitness. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a fit guy.
I try to eat 5 times a day, and I try to limit cheat meals to once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And my meals are pretty chicken, rice, veggies, or some kind of pasta, or it's a small amount of carbs with some kind of protein and some kind of vegetable.
Do you track your macros?
No, I stopped doing that.
It's too much, right?
I mean, when you're to the point where you feel comfortable in your body, then it's kind of like, do you really need to track your macros anymore?
Yeah. I'm not trying to enter a bodybuilding contest. It's like,
are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
I'm like, I would never, because that's psychotic. Like, I want functional and practical, like, strength and conditioning.
I used to want to be a bodybuilder.
Really?
Yes.
What was it about being a bodybuilder that
I guess just having the physique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it so? I've always thought, though, don't take this the wrong way, but
Sure.
I think I've always thought that bodybuilding was like either ego or insecurity.
Insecurity, 100%. It was 100% insecurity. Yeah.
Like not being comfortable with who you are to the extent that like you use that as a means of like fixing other parts of your psyche.
I was for sure very insecure, and that's probably what drew me to it. But then, I don't know, as I got older, I was watching them, use steroids and this and that. I was like, it's not very healthy. So
yeah. Well, it's ironic because you think that you'd get into it to get like healthier. That's like the epitome. Having the physique means you're healthy. And then all these guys, like there's a multitude of bodybuilders who've died of just doing bodybuilding. Like,
I saw
their hearts are terrible. They're using, one guy was using, a lot of them use insulin to like lower their blood sugar so that they're losing, burning more carbs. It's like, are you out of your fucking mind?
That's like, can that give you diabetes? I have no idea. I'm not a doctor.
It can't give you diabetes. It just
seems like it would.
It plummets your blood sugar, and if you aren't doing it while you're eating, and if your blood sugar drops below about 50, then you get sick, and if you take enough insulin, it can go to like 0 and you die.
That's crazy.
So don't take insulin if you don't have diabetes.
Yeah. So that was one thing that I was like, this is getting too much. I saw them dropping like flies on the bodybuilding pages on Instagram. And I was like, I need a new sport.
Yeah. Is that when you got into jiu-jitsu?
Yes. I think so. Yeah. I switched. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Guru and the Good Dude. I'm Tim Warlow, the Guru, and I've got Jaffar Chughtai.
That's right.
And Jaffar and I have known each other in passing, actually, through the guy who created this beautiful studio, Walter, for a few years now. But there's so many similarities between us, I think, in terms of the things we like to do, the activities we participate in, and we're just talking about one that I'd love to start with because I used to do jiu-jitsu. It's been a while since I was into it, but you're very into jiu-jitsu, right?
Yes.
And you were just saying how you started it. I'd love to hear your journey through that.
Yeah. I guess I started in October of 2022, and I've always like been fascinated with martial arts my entire life. I actually took karate and taekwondo when I was a kid.
What was your favorite martial arts film as a kid?
As a kid? What was that one with Chuck Norris?
Oh, God.
It was the one where he had some kid that helped the kid enter some competition.
I don't remember it, but I did watch Walker, Texas Ranger.
That was like a staple in my life.
And my mom loved Kung Fu. Did you watch Kung Fu growing up with David Carradine?
I don't think so.
That was a spiritual one.
I remember I would go to Blockbuster and I'd convince my mom to rent the UFCs or like the Pride or like the Bruce Lee movies. And so it was just like, those were my favorites.
Yeah. I just rewatched Bloodsport. I had a UFC fighter on my podcast, like in the beginning, and him and his buddy who started Grindhouse up in Bernie, and his favorite was Bloodsport. So I was like, I need to watch that again. I started it and I was like, this is terrible. I don't know if you've seen it in a long time, but
I haven't seen it in a while.
It is so bad.
Who's your buddy?
Well, the Badger is the UFC fighter.
Yeah, I've heard of his. Yes, okay.
Got it. Brandon. And then Casey Johnson has been a long-term client of mine. He's the one that really runs things at Grindhouse.
I've heard of the Badger. Yes.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude, Australian guy. He's actually like a cowboy.
Nice.
And had a decent stint. He was in the Australia versus Canada or Australia versus US Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
He's on the
Tough.
early days. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, don't mess with him.
Yeah.
No. He's cool. So you liked martial arts too growing up.
Yes, loved them. Absolutely.
And then you got into jiu-jitsu at some point.
So I wasn't really doing bodybuilding, but I was kind of following the bodybuilding path. And then I was just like, why don't I just try? Like my friend was a black belt and he came over to my house to watch a couple of UFCs and he's like, why don't you just try jiu-jitsu? Like a try with me in my garage. I was like, okay. So I tried with my friend and I did it with my friend and I just fell in love. Like I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what really happened. So I did it with my friend and I fell in love with like being able to like wrestle with someone. But then whenever my friend James grabbed a hold of me and he was able to do whatever he wanted to me, that's when I was like, oh, shit, I can't have anyone in this world do this to me. I mean, that's crazy that someone could just grab you and do whatever they want to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very startling thing, especially if you're strong too. If you like already think of yourself as like a strong person, you're working out, and a guy who's like 50 pounds lighter than you just puts you on his back or gets your back, chokes you out, like whatever they want to do, a black belt is gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it feels like unstoppable, like you're wrestling a bear.
Yeah.
And then you go, wow, I got to learn how to do that. And then that just starts the journey.
Yeah.
Well, so that's cool. So you, so how long have you been training now?
I've had like maybe a month off here or there for injuries, but since almost 3 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's been a while. I trained for about 4 years and then I had my first kid and that made it hard. And then, and at the time I was working in a corporate environment. Now, obviously we both do real estate and it doesn't matter quite as much, but I would show up to work the next day with cuts and like black eyes.
Were you doing full on MMA?
I was doing MMA. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I do 3 days a week of jiu-jitsu, 3 days a week of striking and,
Nice.
you know, free rolling on the weekends. I wanted to go and actually compete, but never wound up doing it.
In MMA or
yeah,
jiu-jitsu?
in MMA.
Oh, wow.
But then I got heavily into jiu-jitsu and I was like, oh, I don't have to get punched in the face
Yeah.
anymore. So it like kind of changed and yeah, I was training a lot. I think you go every day, right?
I go as much as my body allows. It's just
Yeah.
not every day. Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about at 40 years old that your body doesn't allow quite as much.
Recovery is like the most important thing to me now instead of like how much can I bench press. It's more
Right.
about how can I get better and recover faster
And not get hurt.
and not get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like longevity. You start to think more about that. When
Yeah.
you're young, you're just reckless. And
Yeah, it's like, what's my PR? What's my PR?
Mm-hmm.
You know, try to pass that every time, but
yeah. And I do like that about jiu-jitsu. You can be really good at it and go very slowly. It's actually the better you get, the more you learn, the slower you can go.
yeah,
And that's not really the same. Like you can't go slower and beat your PR in a marathon. So
No.
it's like the best guys, like you watch Helio Gracie, like 90 years old, moves like this and just chokes people out. So
our professor Maha, I don't know if you know him. He, I think he's like 60, but man, if you roll with him, it's just like he doesn't even go fast. But then next thing you know, your arm is gone.
yeah, yeah, they know. Where do you train? Do you train at Ohana?
Maha Senki.
Maha Sinki. I've never even heard of it.
Actually, the guy who opened Ohana got his black belt from Maha.
Okay,
He
cool.
was the first jiu-jitsu gym in San Antonio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I've rolled at Ohana before, but I'd never heard of Mahana Sinki.
It's across the highway
Really? Off 281?
off 281 in Bracalo. Yeah, actually.
Nice. You guys ever have like battles?
We have in-house tournaments, but Ohana isn't part of our in-house. But we have affiliates in Uvalde. The Valley has one. Spring Branch has one. So
Nice. Well, cool. So, outside of jujitsu, obviously you've gotten into real estate, but what I like to do in the podcast is give people a chance to talk about how they got to where they are now, like anywhere you want to start in your story, and we'll work our way up from there. You can talk about where you're from, kind of things you did along the way to figure out where you are now.
sure. So I'm from here, San Antonio. I lived in a couple other cities, but I always returned home. I was in the car business for years, and I owned a car dealership off San Pedro. I think I called you about that property
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
the other day. And I was there for, I don't know, maybe 15 years. It's 08, 09.
Oh my gosh. Did you go to college?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
And so like after college,
After
or
college,
during
yeah.
college, you worked there.
I was in the car business during college,
Okay.
and then I worked. So I was in the car business for a long time.
Yeah.
So it just continued on. And then I was in the car business and I started flipping some houses here and there. So I would flip some houses on the side, kind of, as we're talking about, like as an individual. And it was nice to kind of get some money going. And then after I was flipping some houses, the car business wasn't doing as good as it used to. So it was second chance financing, which is like
Yeah.
subprime credit.
Sure.
So while we're doing these subprime loans, the bank is giving us less and less money. Like if they charge $15,000 for a car, they're only giving you a check for 10. You have to make up the rest with a down payment.
Gotcha.
So it was just more difficult to make deals work. So we found ourselves working harder and making the same money in the car business. And I was thinking to myself, I'm sick of this business. I'm doing well with flipping houses. I'm going to plan to close. And this is like January of 2020. And then March hits, COVID hits. And I was like, that's my sign. So closed the doors, sold all my cars. I leased that property out and I was flipping houses for a little bit. And then I was like, I have this large network of people who trusted me and bought cars from me. I'm going to lose it. What can I do to keep that network? And I was like, I think I should become a realtor. And and it worked out. It's really just reaching out to my database and letting them know what I did and what I'm doing in my professional career. I'm switching to being a realtor, and now they can rely on me for their real estate instead of their cars.
Sure.
And it ended up working out for me.
Now, I know you were already into doing social media even before you got your real estate license, right? Were you doing anything in that beforehand?
Not super, like I wasn't on camera or anything like that, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember seeing stuff like you were making skits or doing something.
I started messing, you're right. I started messing with it because I was already had the idea that I'm going to put myself on camera. So I
Right.
started doing some stuff just on TikTok or just kind of get myself comfortable with being on camera.
Yeah. Was that a challenge for you at the time? Like, because you're kind of a quieter, reserved guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that resonates with you, but yeah, you're laid back. But on camera, you're like to have a different energy. It's like, did you discover that?
So when I said I lived different places, I actually lived in Los Angeles and I did some acting.
Oh,
So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just get on camera and I just
just switch it up.
switch it up just subconsciously.
What did you do in Los Angeles?
The biggest role I had was on the movie Argo.
What? Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
What were you?
I was an Iranian soldier.
Are you Iranian?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know why I thought you were family was from a different country, but the that is a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Who directed that?
Ben Affleck.
Dude. Yeah, I'll have to go rewatch that and look for you.
They used me in a preview and in the movie I was cut, but you could see me walking around in the back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
How long were you there in LA?
About 2 years.
Did you give it a good go?
Gave it a good go.
And
Our friend Walter also tried.
yeah, I know. Walter had been on the podcast before. Did y'all know each other at the time?
Yeah, well, we never actually met up. We actually texted each other and were like, hey, or Facebook messaged each other. And we're supposed to meet up, but we never did.
But y'all were friends like in high school, right?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
And you both lived in LA and never met
At the
us.
same time, yeah.
Yeah, Walter was doing his thing too. I mean, I can't imagine how hard and how competitive it is to.
That was the biggest role I got was just because of me being Iranian. I could speak Farsi. But everything else was like a Coors Light commercial, an extra on this, an extra on that. It was nothing serious, you know?
What was the lifestyle like there in LA?
The lifestyle was nice. Started getting into more fitness. Everything's really health conscious there. So it was, I mean, the weather is beautiful every single day.
You want to be outside.
You want to be outside.
During that time, did you have the car business? Is that when you had it rented out, or was that before?
I had the car business going. I was just, out there to kind of pursue my dreams. Didn't really work out.
Did you do a lot of auditions?
I did a few, yes.
I'm just trying to picture.
Sometimes you don't even get invited to them. You try and they don't.
Yeah. I'm just picturing it now. We've got between you and Walter and me, we could make a movie.
Short film.
Yeah. I think, what would it be? Walter has a pretty good script about being valets. We could do that one. Have you read it?
No. He hasn't shown me.
I won't talk about it. I think it's called The Parkers. It's pretty funny. Well, cool. Do you have any dreams of still trying to do that?
Not really.
Yeah, I also had another guy on who's got into acting in his 30s. His name is John Kaler, and really great guy, lives up in the hill country. But he got in pretty much during COVID, doing Zoom lessons for acting, and then networked his way into these short films. And now he has a couple he's in a feature film now. He's acted with
Wow.
Lou Ferrigno,
Cool.
50 Cent. He's got a good track record now. It's just persistent.
I was an extra on a show with 50 Cent.
Really?
He shot up. It was like a party in the backyard, and he shot the. I don't know. He shot someone there, or something.
Oh man, yeah. I don't remember seeing 50 Cent in any movies except.
It was a TV show. It was a Fox TV show.
show.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's cool though, man. Those are good stories to tell.
Yeah. It was fun for what it was, but it was very expensive, and I just came back and
Started back in the car business.
Yeah, I
or-
started back in the car business.
Yeah, the old faithful.
Old faithful. Yeah.
It has gotten harder though, man. It's gotten a lot harder, huh?
As far as car business or just
Yeah.
in general? Yeah. I hear people who are still in the car business are always complaining.
Yeah.
So it's maybe if you did buy here, pay here, but that's a headache on its own.
Yeah.
The car business in itself, to me, was a giant headache.
Yeah.
And it's you have to put out all these different headaches with a bigger headache. And it was a lot. And you have to be there morning to night all
Yeah.
day long.
The guys I know in the business right now just work like
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
How is it compared to real estate?
I like real estate so much more. I can kind of move my schedule around, do what I need to do, schedule my appointments after a certain time or whatever. Because I go to the gym in the morning, or I'll wake up and I'll just start working on a contract or whatever to do on the computer. Then I'll go to the gym, and then after that, I'll have all my appointments set up, and then I'll just go to jiu-jitsu afterwards.
Yeah, that brings up a good question. When you got into real estate, having already kind of owned your own business and worked, but totally different industries, there are a lot of parallels, I think, between the sales side in car sales and real estate. It's just different cycles, different products, different relationship, because it's kind of a much longer, real estate compared to car sales. It's one and done, or
Yeah.
maybe they come back in a couple of years. But in real estate, it's you're going to work with these people for sometimes 6 months or a year. You're building this trust and this relationship for a really long time.
Sometimes it's the same in the car business.
Yeah.
So I've had repeat customers always buy their cars from me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a good sign. You probably felt like you had skills that would help you in real estate.
Yeah, I think it's as long as I think it's the same principle in real estate as that it is in the car business. Is treat everyone with respect and take care of them and don't rip them off.
Yeah.
Do best by them, and they'll keep coming back to you.
Yeah. Did you come up with like a written game plan when you were starting real estate though? Did you have a business plan? Did you know like what you were going to do and how you were going to do it?
For being a realtor,
Yeah.
I had a business plan set up to attack social media by video, reach out to my network and make sure they knew I'm in real estate now, and kind of also let everyone know that I am an investor, not just some guy being a realtor. So I do have a deep knowledge of values and what properties are worth and how the buying process works.
Yeah. So you had kind of a brand around that. You had a good network of past clients to go work with. And is that how you've really built your business?
Yes.
It just worked out that way.
Yeah, just reaching out to my database that already trusted me buying cars.
If you were to give somebody or give yourself advice from 2 years ago on like maybe what to expect or what to do differently, what would you have done?
Be more organized. Be more organized with my CRM.
I'm 13 years in. I could say the same thing.
If I was more organized, it might help, and I would have more systems. But just use my CRM more, honestly.
Yeah.
Instead of using my notes app.
Well, I was just telling my agents yesterday that, if you're only working one deal, that deal is super important to you. And like anything that happens in that one deal affects you a lot, right? But the problem is if you can't be organized even with just one client or two clients, when you actually get very successful and you're working with like 15, 20, 30 people all at once and you don't have a system, like it all breaks down.
Yeah.
You will burn out so freaking fast.
Yes.
What kind of things are you implementing now into the business that would help you on that CRM side?
We use Follow Up Boss. That's been pretty good. We did have Lofty. That was okay
I've heard
too.
good things about it. Yeah.
Lofty was cool. I don't know. I just kind of every Monday I call all my my homes that I have listed or any properties I have listed and give them an update of what happened. And that's every Monday without fail. Or I text them or whatever if they're busy. Buyers, I'm on them all the time. Always sending, make sure properties are going out, making sure we're checking in. Did you like this one? Did you like that one? As far as prospects, I kind of give them their own space because, I don't want to be up your butt if you're not really sure about you want to buy yet or if you want to sell yet. I want them to know that I'm here, and if you need anything, I'm available. But I'm not going to check with them, every single day.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a pretty easy system.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Monday updates are great. Buyers, I agree with you, man. You got to stay on them. I don't think you've probably been in it long enough to like see if loyalty has changed at all, but like, do you find your clients from the car sales business are still loyal to you when you're in real estate?
I've had people that have used, I've lost a listing, maybe like 2 listings. One of them was because he overpriced it and I told him not to price it at that price. And he just got upset.
Classic.
It was $199 as I thought it was worth. He wanted to price at $239.
That's a big gap.
That's a giant gap. So that one I lost. Another one, they wanted to rent. I lost that one, which, who knows? I think it's probably better for them to rent, and then they just have an investment property now. And some people I just advise, like, the price you want isn't what you're going to get, so you should probably just rent this property.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good fallout rate in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I would say most people have, especially over the last 2 years, like a lot more lost contracts.
Well, I've had lost contracts on the
lost
buyer side.
but lost buyers, lost sellers, like people that wind up having to do other things. It's happening much more frequently than it used to.
I think that a lot of realtors don't realize that they are their own business. They kind of feel like they work for their broker, and they don't understand that being their own business, they are their own brand.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of realtors don't understand, and it kind of makes them feel like that they don't have to push themselves. They have a boss that's going to tell them what to do. So I think that mindset is it kind of holds a lot of people back.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I've been working for myself pretty much the entire time I've been doing this. I mean, since day one. But I think there are different people and there's different types of agents. There's like super driven people like yourself, and then there are people that are just happy with, making
Sure.
60 to 100 grand and hanging out and getting up late and working a couple deals here and there. And it's nearly impossible. You have to know this too, but it's nearly impossible to actually motivate somebody.
Yeah.
You can inspire them for a little bit. You can get them, you can, incentivize them here and there. But here's a great example. So I was tired of trying to motivate my own team, and I was like, I'm going to do an experiment. They're not even going to know this is an experiment. I was like, whoever makes 500 calls by the end of the week, I'm giving you $500. It's $1 a call. Everyone on the team did it in 3 days. They made 500 freaking cold calls. Some of them did more. Paid everybody out. In the next meeting, I was like, how much business did you get from that? How much opportunity did you guys each generate? They're like 40,000, 60,000, 15,000, 20,000. It was over 150 grand in commission generated in 1 week from our team. And I was like, you idiots work for $1 a phone call and you generated $150,000 worth of business. And you're telling me you're not going to do that next week because I'm not going to give you $500? Like, that's the kind of mentality so many people have. It's the I need it now mentality. And I try to coach everybody to be like, the deals I'm closing today, like we're doing 3, 4, 5 million a month in closing. Great. I worked those deals 12 to 24 months ago. I generated that business 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, those relationships so long ago. So if you're not doing that today, 2 years from now, you're not closing a deal.
Yeah.
So anyway, I definitely agree with you. They think that they need that motivation, or they're content, or they're scared. They're holding themselves back.
Sure.
There's so many factors, and it is rare. I've found very few really self-motivated people. I mean, and my team is awesome. A lot of them are that way, but I've had plenty of people come and go that just were not. They needed you to tell them what to do.
Have you ever thought of doing an inside sales group instead of having your agents?
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I actually just thought about that yesterday. I was like, maybe I just start paying people to make the phone calls, because you guys make 500 and I'll make 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
'Cause they don't like doing it.
but what I like to do is have, teach my agents how to do it.
Sure.
And then partner on the deals that they aren't being able to close. Like, just yesterday signed a almost $3 million listing. And one of my residential agents had brought the deal in just by, I said, hey, I've got clients looking for this type of property. Go find me that deal. And they did it. And so now they're making basically a referral fee, but it's a lot more than they would have made because they wouldn't have been able to like close that deal. And so I have tried to do this hybrid model with having them be inside agents, lead generators, and letting me close the deal. But I also personally just have so much business coming in that I can't even service, so I'm sending it back to them. So it's really hard to do that, I think, without just finding the people who are the closers and finding the inside sales team.
Sure.
The ISA side is the hardest part.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
I would say more agents get into the business because they want to be in the field, or they want to have, they want to close the deal. And it's harder to find people who want to just be back there making the phone calls. I'd personally love to be the one just making phone calls every day, because I can work for a couple hours.
I guess that's true, because I wouldn't want to be making phone calls.
Yeah. And it's hard, but I wouldn't want to do it for, $20 an hour, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is finding that person who has that fit, who doesn't want to be outside, who wants to get licensed. Because a lot of I've interviewed a ton of people who were inside sales at other companies, but they're in high demand for even just like what's the name of that company? There's a huge telephone center here, West
Telemarketing.
West Telemarketing.
I don't even think they're around anymore.
They're not.
I don't think so.
Man, I thought they were. Maybe
I
they
worked
moved
there
on.
when I was like 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at Medtronic, they recruited a ton of people from there.
Oh wow.
Because I worked inside sales at Medtronic, and they realized that those people could do it.
Maybe they moved.
They might have. Maybe they got bought out or something. Or a lot of telemarketing has moved to the Philippines and
Yeah.
Mexico and
Egypt too, actually, I heard.
really
Yeah.
India.
India's a
Yeah.
big one.
My virtual assistant is actually in the Philippines, but I don't let him make phone calls.
Yeah.
I need him to do other things. I want my agents to make phone calls.
Yeah.
I'm like, I told him yesterday, I was like, your job is not to go to a closing. Your job's not to go to an inspection. Your job is to go generate more freaking business.
Yes.
It's like your only job. And you have
It's 2 hours a day, every morning, just do it.
yeah, just do it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's talking to people. As long as you know how to,
Find a way to connect to somebody for 2 hours a day.
yeah. Yeah, I would have like 30-minute conversations with people and they may or may not turn into business. But it's like, if you're a person that just enjoys learning more about people, like you come from curiosity, you ask the right questions, like those turn into really interesting conversations.
That's true.
And usually it turns into business. I
Yeah.
mean, or a lot of times eventually, but at the very least you get a friendship or a relationship or something out of it.
Yeah. And who knows, it might actually just turn into like, oh, my sister is going to
Yeah.
move here from Miami or something.
Yeah. Well, so the majority of you've kind of built your own pipeline though through your social media of people recognizing you. You've branded yourself well as an expert in a very short amount of time, man. Like,
Thank you.
you put a lot of work into it, and you're very smart about it. Like smart about the type of content you create. Most people freeze. They want to do it. They want to so bad be like that person that's on camera that has that thing to say that, but you like put in the upfront work, planning everything out, like making the video, putting it out consistently. There's very few agents that are doing it crazy enough. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's agents that are coaches that sell their programs, and their programs like get in front of a camera, get in front of a camera, and they still don't do it. And they pay these people. And I don't know if it's because they're unfamiliar with it and it's harder to do something that's unfamiliar, or if it's just they're scared of the camera. But either way, it's like it generates money no matter what. And that's when I realized that, I was like, I have to be smart about this.
yeah. And so what's your content creation schedule look like?
So lately it was kind of relaxed. I kind of stopped for about 3 months. And I bought a camera and I was going to have Walter come to my house, but then he opened this place. So I've been kind of waiting, and now we're doing different things. But most recently we did like a podcast just for content creation.
Yeah. I have found that doing the podcast is a great way to create a lot of content in a short amount of time. I do know that I also have to supplement it though with like on-site type stuff.
Sure.
Like to make like you were saying, your profile grid, you don't want it to all be the same. And you have to like go create some stuff in real life too.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you, do you still, you flip houses still, right?
Yeah. I just went under contract on one today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think kind of showing that your flip with your face in it and just walking around talking about it is a really good way to make a lot of content.
Sure. Yeah, I love stories for that. To be honest, I've been doing content creation since I started in this business. When like Facebook was the only real like place to post stuff, and then I got really into doing like more extravagant stuff like music videos for real estate, doing, really in-depth walkthroughs. And then Walter and I, a couple years ago, switched to doing culture stuff like beer tastings and food and restaurant tours and golf. And then it was just like, oh my God, this is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting. Because then you spend a lot of time doing that, and then your business, it's not that your business goes away, but it's like then you also have to do your business.
Yeah, it's like your content creation schedule can't take up all your time, because then you're not going to be able to sell anything.
Right.
So it's like if you're making YouTube takes a long time.
Long time.
And you're just sitting there trying to figure out what to do. And then you also have to talk for, I don't know, some of those videos are 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like, and putting those out once a week. That's why this is a nice way to break it up and do short form.
Yeah.
I think short form is good. I think YouTube is also good if you have the time. But if you don't have the systems in place to take care of your clients, you're not going to get your referral business from those clients.
Absolutely. And yeah, I do think having one day a week where you're doing it is good. Although you do, like I said, you need some spontaneous stuff too. I really, really look up to the people that kind of just fit it into their life somehow and just make it look supernatural.
It's hard.
It's very hard. It's a challenge.
I like the ones that you do with the with LoopNet, where you just start pointing at stuff. And
I must point, yeah. Like this is, oh, dude, I found something. Green screen.
Yeah.
Look at this.
The green screen
Those
ones are great.
But I mean, it works because I'm like interested in something, but then like I'll be working on something and then I'll have to go, okay, I found something interesting. I'm gonna have to share this instead of just being like, oh, this is for me. You know, like
Yeah.
you have to actually have that thing click and go, oh, I'm gonna share this and get in front of the camera really quick. Even though it doesn't look great. That's the thing I keep telling my agents too. I was like, it doesn't matter if the lighting is great and you look cool and you have the script or not. It's the fact that you're there and somebody can see that you're working, that's all that you need. Because they're going to forget about your clip
You can
in 30 seconds.
figure it out later and start looking more professional as you go. But just get one down and just keep going.
Yeah. And it's very hard. But I challenge my agents every single week. I go, hey, one post a day, do something. Like post a story. I don't care if you're showing a house, you're walking through. I don't care if you don't have anything
You're
to
talking
say.
about just their story?
Stories, reels, whatever.
Like just once a day, any of those?
Yeah, any of them.
Oh, wow.
You know, like it's hard enough to get people to do that sometimes.
Yeah, I post my, and the reason why I do this is my story is always what I'm doing throughout the day. Like after we get out from here, I'm going to take a picture of this and be like, tag you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say podcast time or something. But the reason why I do it is because people comment and engages in my story, in my DMs. And then those people understand like, okay, this guy, I can ask him about working out. I can ask him about jujitsu.
Yeah.
I can ask him about real estate. I can ask him about this new restaurant he just tried. And tagging the place too also puts you on their actual geolocation on their story. So
yes, no, we do the same thing. I'm constantly doing that, and it's not for ego. It's not because people are like, why are you such a thirst trap? Why you take pictures with your shirt off? I'm like, well, because I put in a lot of fucking work. Like, look at this. But the reality is like you're trying to present yourself as a well-rounded individual that's not like taking a commission check and blowing it.
Yeah.
You're like responsibly living your life through like the things that you're passionate about, through things you care about, through art, through food, through working out, through fitness, through golf, like whatever it is, you want people to realize you're not some like loser.
Yeah.
You know, like you're a person you can trust, you're a person people can look up to, and all of that stuff, like posting your kids, posting your dog, ingratiates you with your community. And you don't need a big following to have a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did look, you got like 20,000 followers now on Instagram. You got to take care of that community.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a responsibility to them now.
It's like you have to nurture them too.
Yeah.
It's just like your other clients. Nurture your Instagram
It's
followers.
a great database though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And if you ever decide, like once you've grown a big enough following, if you're like, you know, maybe a couple years into this business and you go, hey, I got this program, you know, here's how you build a real estate business. You could sell it. You got 20,000 people watching.
Yeah.
Not that that's the reason you do it,
Sure.
but that's why building a community is so important.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, but if you can't nurture a database or a following of 500 people, you can't nurture one of 50,000.
Another thing is like one of my friends was like, dude, you're just always doing something. And I'm just like, honestly, it's just, I'm just posting, like I miss some stuff that I actually do during the day as well. So he's like, you're just so busy. You're always working. And he's like, I'm definitely going to use you when I buy a house.
Right.
So it's like, you show that you're busy. You show that and everyone is busy.
Sure.
But you're not showing it. And if you're not showing it, people think, oh, this guy's probably not as good as, you know.
Yeah. If you're not looking at stuff, if you're not looking for deals, if you're not working with a client, if you're not going to a networking event or whatever, if you're not trying to sell your listing too, if you're not trying to promote things and people are watching, then they're going, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. I just got a big listing.
Yeah?
1.8.
Okay.
Some commercial.
What is it?
Industrial.
Where at?
Over off Calabria.
Is it occupied?
It is. It's bringing in. They're both at like an average of a 8.5 cap.
8.5 cap?
Yeah.
Is it, what class would you put it in? When was it built?
It's old, very old. One is a brick building, and the other one is a metal building.
Is it owner occupied?
No.
Is it tenant occupied? How much time is left on their lease?
The brick one is 5 years, and I think the other there's 3, and those are around 2.
Are they gross leases or triple net leases?
Triple net.
Damn. 8.5
Yeah.
for the whole thing?
Whole thing.
And how many square feet?
I forgot. I have to look.
These are just the questions you should be asking if you're making an investment. I might have somebody.
Okay.
Is it value add? Do you see value add? Maybe on the renewal?
You renewal or like honestly, like after they're out, separating it and making different ones.
Okay.
That'd probably be the only other way.
Yeah. I work with a fund out of California that buys occupied industrial. That's like all they buy.
Oh, really?
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, he's
They close like 40 million.
it needs a little bit of work, but like that's why
what they like.
It's 8.5 for that reason.
Yeah. And most people want longer term leases or like, you know, pretty good credit tenants or something like that. But these guys will buy as long as there's value add.
Okay.
Right now, the play in pretty much anything is just waiting on cap rates to drop. Like you just sit on it at an 8.5 cap, and interest rates fall a point over the next 1.5 or 2 years, and now cap rates are 7.5, and you've just made $180,000 in equity just
by sitting
by sitting on it.
Yeah.
So that's plus 8.5% return every
Yeah.
year. That's the way to do it.
You buy something that cash flows and it's worth it.
Yeah, most people think we're reaching the peak of cap rates, and I've seen it. I think it actually peaked about 2 or 3 months ago.
Really?
Hospitality was actually the worst. It peaked at like a 10 cap average.
I saw something.
It's probably my post.
Was it?
I don't know.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, hospitality and then office peaked around like 8.5 national average.
Yeah,
and
I saw
back
that,
down.
yeah.
So everything started to come back down about 0.5 point in the last 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
So there's a big jump in average deal like closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the delta between like list price and sales price was huge, like a full point.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
You list it for 2 and you'd be lucky to get 1.6.
Yeah.
It's turned around. I just 2 weeks ago contracted like 2 or 3 different developments for like $4 million, like all at once.
Oh,
Cash
wow.
deals. So people are buying developments again.
Good.
Lots to build on, commercial developments, like done a lot.
Building is tough.
Building is tough. I try to focus on outside the city limits
Okay.
because then you don't have to
Deal
worry
with the
about
city.
it. As long as
My biggest problem right now is CPS Energy.
yeah.
They
Good
looked
luck.
at the plans and they said, okay, this is great. And then after we start building, they're like, oh, actually, you need an easement from the guy next door.
God.
That's crazy.
Is that your project on Prue?
Yeah. Babcock and Prue.
Babcock and Prue. You need an easement for the utilities?
Yeah. There's no power. And we can't even
Solar.
pour asphalt. I wish it would power the whole thing.
Oh, dude. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about that because that's a cool thing you do too. Is this your first development?
That's my first development.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because that's fun.
That was cool. It was a interesting process to learn everything. I used my dad's friend. He's a civil engineer, and he is the guy who goes and makes sure on site that they're doing everything correctly, and we had to pay him a percentage.
Yeah. Oh, he did it on fee
On
or on a
fee, yes.
percent.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll walk through the process of developing. So like civil is usually one of the first people you call to make sure it's going to make sense.
Yeah, and he said we call architects.
Yeah.
Then we went to the architect.
Yep.
We were designing. Actually, my dad's brother because my dad owned this land for years. He developed the shopping center next door, sold it, and then he just had this land sitting there. And he was like, "You want to list this?" I was like, "Why don't we build on it?"
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm too old for this. I said, okay, I'll do it. So started building on it. I went to the architect, and my uncle who passed away, actually, the architect's like, oh, you can only get 11,000 square feet out of this. And then my uncle who passed away he was a civil. He hand drew something, and we gave it to this architect. He's like, oh, actually, you could fit 13,500 square feet here.
Oh, wow.
Because of my uncle who's...
Rest in peace, Unc. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we did the standalone building with the 11,000 square feet in the back.
That's a lot. Was it on 1 acre? Or
1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
So you got to have a lot of parking.
You have to have a lot of parking, or else the city won't.
What was the ratio? It's like 3-to-1.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So now you just wait on power.
And landscaping.
Okay, so you went through, you got your plans approved. Since you guys already own the land, typically you'd have this 3 to 6 month process of feasibility and closing on it.
Geotech and all that.
Yeah, geotech. And then, so you already had the land. You got a loan to do the construction, or did y'all do it with cash?
We did it with cash.
Wow.
We raised some funds, and we did it with cash.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then you don't have the pressure of the bank.
Well,
30 days
I feel like the pressure of other people's money is a little bit more to me personally.
Yeah.
That kind of gets me like...
That's true. That's true.
They both kind of pressure, but like, I don't know. I just feel like someone's like,
yeah.
do something.
You can ignore the bank's phone call, but like,
yeah, I'm not ever ignoring
your
them.
neighbor's coming over knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Okay, so you raise some funds, you build it, and now what's your plan there? Who do you see going into this? Is it a strip center?
It's a strip,
retail?
Yeah. So we were in deals with the Pizza Hut next door to come to the standalone drive-through, but this guy's giving us, like, he won't give us the easement, and he's being a little weird now. So we're looking at Dunkin' Donuts for the standalone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a great tenant.
They want us in 10 years. So,
dude, that's amazing. I don't really get how they can afford such expensive real estate, because they always get like the drive-through and a nice space. I'm like, you guys are selling
the drive-through at the end cap. Yeah.
Yeah, you're selling donuts and coffee. It's crazy.
Well, now they have like a food menu.
I guess they do. I haven't been in there in a while.
I went there just to kind of check it out.
Their coffee's not bad.
The coffee's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's okay.
I wouldn't like, I'm not going to go out of my way to get it, but
yeah.
I'm like, I shit on a lot of coffee because I love coffee, and I'm like a snob about it.
Do you like Dutch Bros? I don't either. It's not coffee.
No.
It's milk.
That's milk. That's just milk, baby. No, I don't like, I really only like local coffee shops. Like, I don't like anything mass produced when it comes to coffee. Because if they can't tell me what elevation those beans were growing at, I'm going to be pissed.
Do you like local coffee?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of local. They get a lot of hate from like all my friends because they're like, it's too acidic, it hurts my stomach, and I'm like, you're just a baby. Give me it black.
My friend owns that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
He's actually a commercial agent now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's the one that bought it because it sold. From
No,
Merit.
he doesn't own Merit. He sold local to Merit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think they're amazing. I think like it's so hard to have that kind of quality with even like 20 stores and be roasting yourself and making your own product.
Do you like Merit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do. I've been doing a thing called Trade Coffee for like 6 years. It's a monthly subscription, and every month they send you like just a random bag based on what you like. Because I like light roast, grown over like 5,000 feet elevation, or 5,000 feet elevation, and like natural. And so I'll occasionally even get a bag of Merit and compare it to like I really like Bird Rock, Tweed. And anytime I travel, I try to find these places where I've had their coffee like shipped to me.
Yeah.
Super fun. It's like a scavenger hunt. But Merit holds up against anything I've had in the country. So
that's good.
I think it's great.
Do you do a pour over?
Yeah, so I have an espresso machine, which is it's a Scasso. It's an Italian espresso machine. So you use that to make cortados in the afternoon, but in the morning I always do pour over.
Nice.
Chemex.
You're not a real aficionado.
Yeah, I've got a. Do you know the company Fellow?
I have. Yes, I've
Fellow
heard of
has like I want to say they're either Canadian or Scandinavian, but they have these beautiful kettles that like don't look like shit on your counter. They just look so pretty.
Yeah.
So I have like an electric kettle from them that it's like $300 stupid dollars.
Really? I didn't know they're that much.
Water kettle, and their grinder.
Oh,
The
okay.
grinder's very expensive, but they have the best pour over kind of
Setup.
setup.
Interesting.
Check them out. Fellow, you want to sponsor this? I've been using their products for that like since they started. I was on waiting list to get them. So,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
big fan. But yeah, I love coffee. I try not to drink too much coffee. I think that's a big problem because
Yeah.
I'll be up at 1 o'clock in the morning, like trying to fall asleep. I'm like, what happened? Oh yeah, you had 1 cup of coffee at 12:30.
Oh, really? You're sensitive.
I'm very sensitive, so I have to limit.
I can have coffee at 7 p.m. and go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I
Might
wish
be
I
the
could.
jujitsu. I don't know.
Maybe I have to go back.
Maybe you have to join our gym and
Yeah.
free class.
All right, I challenge you right here on the podcast. Let's roll. Yeah, man, I'd totally be down.
Yeah, you should. They'll do one free class.
I'm in good shape. I go every probably 3 months and I'll roll. And like
Okay.
I went to Ohana and I rolled and their purple belts were like, you're not a white belt.
Are you, what were you when you quit?
Blue.
Okay, cool.
So, but I still only have a white belt. I wear a white belt because
You want a sandbag?
I'm a sandbagger because I just don't go enough. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. So, but yeah, I had gone for a long time and
You do gi or no gi?
gi.
Okay, cool.
I like
We have a seminar coming up with Hugo Duarte. Do you know who that is?
Duarte. Is he Brazilian?
He's a Brazilian.
It sounds super familiar.
He's from the 90s. He fought like Hicks and Gracie on the beach.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, on the beach.
Yeah,
yeah.
You saw that video?
Dude, yes.
Yeah, that's Hugo Duarte.
Oh my God.
So he was the Lucha Libre or whatever,
Yeah.
where they the first no-gi guys. And we're having a seminar with him on August 16th.
Was Hickson wearing a gi on the beach?
No.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
They went no-gi, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Well, they just start fighting. It was like straight up MMA.
dude, that's sick.
And,
well,
he fought Mark Kerr.
it was either
too.
Hicks. Oh, dude, Mark Kerr was a beast too.
Yeah, they had like a 30-minute fight in Pride.
Oh my God, I got to watch that. But did he win?
No, Mark Kerr won.
Yeah, he's scary.
Yeah.
I was going to say like Hicks. It was either Hickson or Helson. No, Hickson or what was his brother's name?
Hoylson?
Yes. Whoever
Hoyler.
fought Sakuraba in
Yes.
Pride. And he showed up with a gi on to fight in
Yes.
a no limit match. There was no time.
Yeah.
And Sakuraba used his gi to just freaking throw him around and make him look like a clown. He's like, why would you wear that into the
Because you can pull it out and choke them with it, but
Yeah.
it's also against you because they can grip you.
Yeah. And you also like get worn out. I mean, like if you're fighting MMA and you're trying to throw punches with a gi on, you're at a disadvantage for sure.
Yeah.
So, well, that was weird.
Actually, Maha and Hoyler grew up together,
Really?
and that's how he joined jiu-jitsu, is because he was best friends with Hoyler.
Wow.
He was on that beach, I think.
I want to be on that beach. Imagine training in jiu-jitsu.
Imagine like all the best guys in the world were just on the beach together hanging out.
just sparring. Yeah, that sounds great. I wish, like you mentioned, LA has like the best weather where you just want to be outside all day. And like when I was in California, I rolled up. It was in San Francisco. I rolled up to a park, and there's just a group of people in the park doing jiu-jitsu. It's like you never find this in San Antonio.
Well, actually, one of our black belts were about to do it, but it got too hot.
I know. I was gonna say it's too freaking hot.
We're gonna plan for it in the spring. We'll probably do it in the fall, but yeah.
I'm just meaning like friends just go, hey, you going to the park today? Let's go roll. And we just don't do that. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
There's just, most of our parks are filled with homeless people.
Yeah.
But I guess so are theirs in San Francisco.
I guess we're going to McAllister Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. That's a good park.
It's a good place to roll at, I guess.
Yeah. Our grass just also isn't as lush. I think you gotta go to like a country club and roll
Do it
in
on their golf course.
like in the good grass. Much better place to roll.
Yeah.
McAllister's dirt is really packed. Like
It is.
I've played soccer there.
It's bad soil, actually.
Last time I played soccer there, I rolled both ankles simultaneously.
Dude, that's like.
It was brutal. I literally.
Could you imagine watching like a soccer game, like the World Cup, and some guy just rolled both his ankles,
Both
and
ankles
falls out?
simultaneously. And I literally couldn't walk. So like I leave to go to Walmart to get ankle braces. I had to use one of the
No
wheelchair
way.
things. Yeah, like the little cart things. I could not walk.
You were by yourself?
No, I had help from somebody, but I was
Okay.
like just still rolling around.
Yeah.
It was so bad. So just go straight to the ground at McAllister and
Still, yeah. We should probably start from.
start from knees.
Yeah.
I think that sounds awesome. I just always envied that, like people in California can just hang out
Yeah.
on beaches and
They do-
parks all day, and just it's nice.
And everyone walks everywhere because it's not hot.
Yeah.
So you can just walk to 3 miles and not really sweat.
I don't even want to walk to my car in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
My car is all black. It's like really hot.
Oh yeah, you got a Cybertruck.
I did.
How you like that?
I love it. I had the
Yeah, you had
Model
a Y,
Y,
right?
yeah. And then I got the Cybertruck. Then all of a sudden, everyone hates Cybertrucks,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, I think they hate.
I didn't do
hated them for a
anything.
long ti- I think they hated him for a long time. It was just,
That was the breaking point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Elon and Trump have had their little back and forth battle.
That's funny to
dick
watch.
swinging contest.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was really weird to watch because I also had a Tesla. I had a Model 3 since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And when I bought my Tesla, everybody thought I was a liberal for it. And then 4 years later, Elon is like buddy with Trump, and now everybody looks at it and is like, yeah, brother. I'm like, hey guys, I'm like neither of these things. I just like the car.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, can you just have a car and it not be a
yeah.
political statement?
It's the craziest thing in the world. I'm not even political, but when it comes to the car, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, you're." I'm like, no,
No.
it's not a thing.
It's just a car.
It's a car. They make a good car, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, if you drive a Dodge Ram, you're definitely a conservative.
I would venture to say if it's diesel,
If it's diesel Dodge Ram,
I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
See, I had a Tesla and a Dodge Ram.
Okay. The people that had no idea what.
No idea. And now I have a Porsche Macan. So,
How do you like the Porsche?
bro, it's amazing.
How does
So-
it going around the turns?
The turn's amazing. So that was my one thing with my Tesla, and I had the boost on it, so it was super fast. I mean, I do miss that. It was
Yeah.
almost a 3 flat 0 to 60. It was
You had the performance?
I had the long range dual motor, and
Okay.
then I got the speed boost, which was like on an app
Oh,
in
really?
your phone.
I didn't know that. They
Like the
did that.
first week I had the car, I get a notification on the app that says, "Hey, for $2,000, you can get another second off your 0 to 60." And it was like
Oh.
easiest 2,000.
That you basically had a performance.
I had a performance,
Yeah.
but it didn't have performance shocks, and
So
and
the bumps are a little much.
it was still smooth. It's just that if you're trying to take a turn and you're
Yeah.
like it doesn't hold the line as well. And the Porsche, even though it's an SUV, I mean that thing is glued. And I have the turbo, so it is pretty quick. It's not as fast as the Tesla by any imagination, but it's so smooth. Everything inside the interior is nicer, like everything's leather, everything like that. So it felt like a more of a lateral move because I was giving up some stuff, but like gaining some other things. And I really love it. I also did get it tuned immediately.
Nice.
So it has 500 horsepower.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
like, it's a nice ride.
The one thing about the Cybertruck is it's that yoke steering wheel,
Yoke, yeah.
and it's steer by wire. So
Right.
it's the first one that doesn't have a steering column to go to the wheels. So when you turn like this, your whole car is turning. So it's not the maximum turn is this. So
Wow.
when I get into another car and I'm turning, I feel like a caveman trying to turn
Wow.
the car. It's like I'm just so used to this. That's really all I have to turn.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I got really sick about with Tesla was that originally, so I paid the $10,000 up front for full self-driving.
Yeah.
Up front, before it was even available. And it took 3 years to get it released. And I had autopilot for that amount of time, which was fine. But the whole time I'm like, when's FSD coming out? When's FSD? Then I get the beta and it sucks.
Yeah.
The first version, the first like 18 versions of full self-driving were god awful.
Yes.
And then it finally gets to a point where it's usable. And they go full on Nazi about your hands on the steering wheel,
Yes.
eyeball tracking.
Yes.
And I was just like, this is the most, it was so infuriating. I was like, give me my 10,000 back and take full self-driving away.
Well, now they're about to release unsupervised full self-driving where you can be on your phone and whatever.
You should have been able to do it this whole fucking time because it worked really well. Like, especially on the highways.
Dude, on the highways, when I went to Dallas and I had full self-driving, it's like,
Nothing.
it's amazing. It just gets over if someone's coming, if someone's going slow, it passes them. It's just,
It really did work. I mean, they are miles and miles ahead. Like,
yeah.
my Porsche doesn't even have fucking lane assist.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't even have lane assist. And so, I mean, it says it does, but it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't beep
It
or
has a
anything?
button. No, it doesn't even beep. I've like purposefully drive over to the lane just to see if it works, and it doesn't pull back. It doesn't do anything. I was like, you guys are way behind.
Porsche's really known for that, though.
Yeah, no, they're not. And that's not the purpose of it. But I just wanted to see because I was used to. I had to relearn how to drive because I spent 5 years in a Tesla. Was just
It's different. It's a
sitting
different
there
driving
and
experience.
letting it take me.
One pedal drive, too. It's
Yeah.
very different now.
It's very different. I'm using the brakes a lot.
Yeah.
But I have fantasized about going back, but I don't know.
Maybe you'll get
Too soon.
the what's it
The
called?
Roadster?
The Roadster.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
0 to 60 in 1.5.
Is it just 2 seats though?
It's a 2-seater
Yeah,
sports car.
I can't do that.
Really?
I have a 9-year-old and, things
Yeah.
to carry around as a
Well, it's a weekend car.
yeah. I think if I did wind up getting a weekend car, I would get a GT3 RS, like get the Porsche.
Oh, wow.
And then trade my Macan in for a Tesla.
Just get the Model 3 again.
Just get it, yeah. I mean, it's an awesome car.
It is.
And I don't know how much more they can improve. It's basically like waiting for everybody else to catch up. It's
The Model 3?
yeah.
Have you seen the new ones?
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah.
I mean, they've changed really just kind of the body style, the lights, and things like that. They look better, but
This guy at our brokerage has one. It looked nice.
yeah, they're not making like dramatic changes, but it's yeah. My son definitely misses my Tesla because all the games in it.
Yeah.
I leave him in the car for a little bit, and he would just sit and play.
Yeah.
And oh well, we'll see. What else, man? So tell me about what's happening next in your business that you're excited about this year.
I'm about to do my second development.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where at?
That car dealership.
Oh, you okay?
In the back of it,
Yeah.
there was a service garage. I knocked it down, and I mean, it should be breaking ground any day now.
That's awesome. What are you going to build there?
5,000 feet of flex space industrial.
That seems like a good spot for it. There's not a lot of flex space over there. Further down San Pedro, like towards the airport, there is, right? But
There's some. It's mostly off Bassie.
yeah.
There's a ton on Bassie. Actually, my friend owns Bassie Business Park, which is nothing but flex space back there. And yeah, he's building flex space everywhere now.
Wow. I mean, it's a good model.
Yeah.
It makes sense too. Like things are changing so quickly that, 1 minute you're needing distribution or logistics or manufacturing or then people need office space again. It's like it's random.
Yeah, it's weird.
We saw that happen a lot. Like, I mean, there's a ton of space that went up in 2021 and 22. And then people were building these like massive industrial centers.
Yeah, I've seen
Look at
those.
35. I mean,
There's some of them are still empty. It's crazy.
they've probably built 10 million square feet or 20 million square feet. It's just, people have been talking about how much space we built for multifamily, but I haven't heard as much like chatter about industrial.
Yeah.
And I feel like the thing with industrial is that as things change, as technology changes, that's probably one of the most sensitive types of real estate to what's happening in technology, because you see like data centers are now super popular, or like Amazon fulfillment centers or distribution centers. And so like, whereas we went from maybe manufacturing style industrial, which is like what you see a lot of downtown, those buildings are totally obsolete
Yeah.
for distribution, for logistics, for
They
end
have
of,
to be repurposed and used for something else, honestly.
and that's what you see in other, like some of my favorite cities that have done it well, like Philadelphia has a district that was all these really early, turn of the century industrial buildings for manufacturing. And at some point, probably in the 80s, a lot of that went away. Like we moved manufacturing overseas a lot, and those buildings sat vacant for like 30 years, and it was a huge district of them. Well, at some point, people come back and go, hey, there's a lot of cool space here. There's big space and it's super cheap. Why don't we start putting up bars, restaurants, shops? And they've turned this whole industrial area that's nice, like red brick and like super tall buildings, all very unique. And they've turned them all into like entertainment districts.
Kind of like the Pearl,
Yeah, yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah, the Pearls. That's true. They did that with the Pearl. It's more luxury. I'm thinking more like, kind of like middle class local.
Oh, okay.
Like not tourist type stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, same thing.
Same concept.
And maybe not like $10 billion.
Very expensive.
So expensive. But that would be. I would love to do that. I had a listing off of Dawson Street that was like 30,000 feet of industrial, and it's zoned D. So anything zoned downtown district, you can do anything with. You can do retail, you can do office. So those are perfect buildings for conversion to like to retail, which is a higher use. And they had like art studios in the back, and then it was an antique shop, all 20,000 feet, and then they lived upstairs. I wanted it so bad, just to like convert it into brewery space, restaurant space.
Do you have any long-term investments?
Yeah, I have mostly single family stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a few single family homes, and then we're actually under contract to buy a lot. We're going to start building a house on, but I do want to buy some commercial stuff.
Yeah.
I envy you for getting that stuff going. I think even for me, having been in the business this long, it's still like hard for me to think about building something commercial.
Well, you don't have to start building. You could start with something smaller and do some value add.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those around.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot, but they come around.
Yeah, they do. I mean, just knowing about the market, the thing is like I'm finding deals and just giving them to my clients where I should absolutely just be going, I can just take that.
Yeah.
Like I had a conversation with an investor. This is very candid, but I had a conversation with an investor who was like, yeah, I'm looking for a 30 to 40% cash on cash return for these commercial investments. I go, bro, if I find a 40% cash on cash return deal, you think I'm going to call you? I'm like, I love my clients, but I'm like, that's free money for life.
Cash 30 to 40. I mean,
I can do that on my flips, but it's only one time.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a 30 to 40% annual cash on cash return,
insane.
that's ridiculous.
They asked for that in San Antonio?
He asked for that anywhere, and I was just like, I don't know where you bought that deal, but stay there. Like, don't even tell me about it.
That doesn't exist here.
Doesn't exist. I think the most, and we do deals that equate to about 100% cash on cash, but again, it's one time.
Yeah, it's a flip.
Like 90 to 100%, or even a little more than that, I do all day, especially using hard money, because I'm putting less than 10% down and financing everything, and we get more than what we put in every time. But that's one time.
Yeah.
So if you want like a long-term annual return of that, I'm like, bro, if I find that, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
But I can find you 20% or 10% or, That's harder to find with interest rates where they're at. It used to be a lot easier.
Maybe 10%, but I don't think I can see.
Well, so every syndication that I used to see was like 17 to 20% IRR, and that's equivalent, pretty close to like, but that's at exit. That's 5 years. So it's not like you're receiving that in income every single year, but like 17 to 20% with super high value add deals. might still be around.
Really?
It's contracted a lot, but that used to be like the standard.
Yeah. When rates were low.
When rates were low. God.
Do you think we'll ever see rates come back?
Probably never below like 5.5.
You mean for residential?
Like, I don't think we'll see like a prime rate below like 5% ever again.
You
But
know,
like
I think
for
we might hit
commercial, big 6. Yeah, it's like a point higher usually for commercial.
I would say for residential, we might hit 4.5.
Honestly, I think you have to think that, like, it would have to be kind of catastrophic. It would have to be like rates during 2012 and 13, like after the crash, got down to as low, in the low 4s, even the 3s.
Yeah, because I bought my house at 2.75, but it was 15-year.
Yeah. Okay. So 15-year, you could do it.
2015.
Yeah. So up until, definitely on a 15-year, 30 years, the lowest point was probably around that, like 2014 or 15. You could get in the 3s.
Okay.
But most of the deals we did were.
But then it went back up, right?
It went back up to like the 4s.
And then it came back down.
And it went way down. But it was because the economy was in the toilets.
Because of COVID.
But that was short lived. It was overkill.
Yeah.
Everything was overkill. It was like the glory days. You got into real estate after that, though, right?
I did. I missed the money everyone made.
Picked the perfect time, man.
I missed when it was crashing and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm getting out of this business." I went in.
Yeah, that's not a terrible way to do it if you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
We have seen our business doubled so far this year.
Oh, nice.
Last year. And I don't want to say it's because of the exodus of agents and that, like, I think it's because we've just always been consistently doing what we've been doing and looking for opportunity. And this is on track to be the best year I've had in all 13 years.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
Like, it's being strategic. It's being disciplined and consistent. I think a lot of agents didn't see it come and got blindsided.
Yeah.
So 2022, I was crushing, had a team. We're on track to do over $1 million in gross commission and taking home like a ton of money. And I'm golfing all the time. And then I think it was like July of 22 when they started raising the rates, and I just saw everything come to a halt. And I was like, oh, I'm going back to work. Like, no more golfing, no more fun.
Yeah.
Go back to the grind. And it was fine.
I joined February of 23.
Yeah.
Right when it was stick in the mud.
That was hard, man. 23 was a hard year.
Yeah.
I don't even know what year. It's the middle of 2025.
It's middle of 2025.
It just flew by.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But I think the key is just being consistent, staying consistent, and having a game plan. And you've executed yours well.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to talk about? Anything fun and exciting coming up?
I'm going to UFC 319 with Hamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis.
Oh, I like Duplessis. He's an interesting fighter.
He's an interesting fighter. He is, yeah. He like slips on a banana peel and wins.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Did you watch last weekend?
I did.
Charles
and Ilya Taporia
got starched.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Walked right into. He set it up beautifully, though.
It was, man. Yeah, there was a beautiful little. Yeah, you could tell almost as soon as it started. You're like,
he was hitting hard.
Yeah,
and he was chasing him down.
Yeah, he was like stalking him.
Yeah,
and I love Charles. Actually, it was kind of sad.
It was sad. Charles did grab his leg. I thought he was going to get a leg lock for a little bit, but
right off the bat, right? Like right in the beginning.
Yeah,
I did too. And then quickly he got.
I was kind of worried because Charles takes damage.
He can. Yeah,
he does. He puts his chin out there, but he'll give you his chin so he can get yours.
Yeah, but at every fighter's career, there's a point where that doesn't work anymore. And now you've the cumulative damage you've taken just comes into play. I mean, it happened to all the greats.
Yeah.
who tried to stay a little too long.
Yeah.
So you're going to 319? Are you going to go to the one in
319.
San Antonio?
Yeah. Noche.
Noche? Yeah,
I'll be
they haven't
there.
started selling yet, but
No, I
we're
think that'll
waiting.
be, they'll probably start those end of July, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big card, I think. So they already have Jean Silva versus Diego Lopez.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a big fight. And I think they're trying to get like Yair on there as well and some other people.
That'll be fun. You know, I used to keep up so much better. Now I kind of just show up on the weekend and watch the fight,
Really?
and I like don't. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy. I'm just like, yeah. There's just at one point there were so many fighters. And now it feels like it's kind of dwindled back down a little bit too. But they're
I think they have the biggest roster they've ever had
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and they have more fights than they've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost every weekend.
Almost, yeah.
Where it used to be like once a month.
And now they have the Ultimate Fighter, and they just opened UFC BJJ, and they have.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
hear about that.
So they, you know, the Ultimate Fighter, you live in a house. They did that with UFC BJJ. It's on YouTube. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Who's your favorite jiu-jitsu practitioner?
Right now. Ooh.
Do you watch the exhibitions?
Yeah. In no gi or gi.
I don't care.
Adam Warzinski in the gi.
Adam Warzinski.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Polish guy.
Oh, have you ever been to 10th Planet?
Yeah, I
This is
went to 10th Planet in Vegas, though. Yeah, my friend trains there, and whenever I'm in Vegas, I train there.
I was trying to get back into training, and I went to the 10th Planet in San Antonio, and it was like the main guy's birthday. It was like the only time I've ever been there, and there were 90 people there. And they go, "We're just gonna roll for 2 hours."
Oh,
So
wow.
I got my ass kicked for 2 hours straight, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
Really?
They're really really good.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
they're creative. So if you're a traditional practitioner, like you've trained in any Gracie jiu-jitsu, their stuff feels really weird, like really different.
The leg entanglements.
Yeah, I mean everything, like even just their locking positions or like their even just like their guards are weird. Like
Interesting.
everything.
Rubber guard or what?
Yeah, rubber guard, butterfly
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah.
They love that stuff. And then yeah, the legs, you
The
know,
legs.
the brimbolo
Yeah.
bullshit is want to stomp on people's
Yeah.
face. But
Let go.
yeah. But it's fun.
The pulling guard.
Yeah.
Do you like pulling guard?
No, I don't pull guard. I
don't pull
take people
guard.
down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take me down. That's the only way I'm going to the ground.
I just double leg. I like sweeps a lot. I did judo for a while too as a
Oh, really?
well my dad was a wrestler all through high school, and so but we didn't have wrestling here, so he like
Yeah.
trained us like
Nice.
when I was a kid. So I learned a lot. And then my sister's boyfriend was really early into MMA, and he learned Valley Tudo first and Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, and he taught me when I was in high school. So like even in high school, I knew judo,
Nice.
like hip tosses and
Yeah.
seoinage, and so like takedowns I love. I also played football, so
Yeah.
it was
I'm a big single leg guy.
yeah, single legs are great.
That's not a
long-
double leg so much, but
Yeah,
or single two double maybe, but
I like single leg because it's fun to just watch people fall like that. But
Yeah.
double legs like more aggressive,
it's very aggressive.
and you risk your neck a lot more.
Yeah, that I actually just hurt my neck from. It was a single leg, but I was trying to take him down halfway across the mat and landed, spiked my own head.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was training in a garage like you were talking about, like just a buddy's house, and I go for a double leg and I put my head through his door.
Oh wow!
Like a door, like a hollow core
Yeah,
door.
yeah.
But my head went all the way through his door, and I was like, "This is a very small
Did you
space."
just rush him by the door?
It was a small room. It was a small room, and he was really good at defense.
Okay.
So he was like sprawling, and I'm pushing forward, and
Yeah.
Then we went back, and my head went through the door.
Okay.
Yeah, Okay, invite me out. I'll come train with you.
Okay,
I
cool.
think that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Last thing, you said you're starting a podcast.
I am. I don't
got
know what to
details
call
yet?
it yet. No, I don't. First guest is going to be a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
They're going to be in town for Noche, actually. They're fighting on that card. And basically, my podcast is about if you're a business owner, if you are in real estate, if you invest, or how you got your money and what you did with it.
Okay. I like it.
And a little bit of life stuff.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, I look forward to it. And thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll stay tuned. We'll have to film our
Our jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go start training like right now. All right. Thanks for listening to the Guru and the Good Dude with my buddy Jaffar Chughtai. And we'll see you guys next time.